You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Welcome to another episode of Unstoppable Actors. I'm so excited to have you here, whether you're new, whether you're returning, because I want to talk about the method acting techniques that can help you cry on cue today. I know that this causes so much stress and anxiety and worry in so many actors, especially when they're reading the script that there must be tears. It can really start to play on our mind, and we can start to create all sorts of stories in our heads that we're not good enough. Are we going to be able to do this? Are the tears going to seem fake? Are they going to seem real? There's lots of stories that whiz around in our heads. And so I'm going to share with you 3 method acting techniques that will help you cry on cue. Before I share them with you, we can get very, very caught up in thinking only about the tears and the crying. And that can start to take over the entire performance. And we can start to dread that moment because we just don't know whether the tears are going to come or not. We don't know whether we're going to be crying genuinely or whether it's going to be one of those forced cries that sounds really fake. And I can remember from my days of doing stage work, well, not even just stage work actually, film work as well, but a particular memory is coming up when I've done stage work before. And of course you rehearse in front of all the other actors, at least in my experience of doing stage work, you do. And that can be one of the most nerve-wracking experiences of your life, especially if you're not that confident in your craft. And I remember back in the early days when I was, just starting out with acting, I wasn't that confident. I loved acting, don't get me wrong, and had a big imagination and was very passionate about it. But when it came to scenes like this, I wasn't that confident. And so I would start to wonder what everybody else was thinking about me. Would they think that my tears were forced? Would they think that my tears were fake? And I'd be absolutely inside other people's heads when really I should have been in the performance. And when I say I was inside other people's heads, I mean literally trying to guess what I thought they were thinking. And this is what can happen. And it can start to eat us up. And then the performance, well, it just becomes so much more challenging, so much harder, so much more difficult because we're not giving ourselves space to breathe. We're not giving ourselves, in fact, we've totally forgotten about using a technique because we're now all consumed in these thoughts in our head. So the 3 techniques, the 3 method acting techniques you can use to cry on cue are substitution, personalization, and effective memory. Hello, I'm interrupting my own episode with an important announcement. If what you're hearing is resonating with you and you want to stop overthinking once and for all, and you want to actually feel assured in yourself so you can start opening the doors to your dreams, you need the Summer 10-Week Method Acting Programme. This is an intensive 10-week deep dive into method acting that will turn you into a professional actor. And the standby students who have trained on the modules within this program have landed work in Hollywood films, how exciting, Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, and TV soaps. And they were like you. They began with very little, if any, experience, an empty acting CV, but a burning desire to become a professional actor. And if you have that burning desire too, to move away from the day job which is grinding you down and start getting cast quicker, then go and check out the Summer 10-Week Method Acting Programme, because applications are only open for a very limited time. So the link is bit.ly/10-week method acting, all in lowercase, and 10 as in the numbers 10, bit.ly/10-week method acting. And you can also hit the link underneath the episode. Each one of these techniques, substitution, personalisation and effective memory, come at the emotional work from a slightly different angle. So personalisation has more of a storytelling approach to it. Substitution is a bit more of a script analysis approach. Effective memory is more of an approach where we're going through the senses to find the emotions. But what each one of them is doing is allowing you to find that trigger point where that emotion is released and you can express that emotion. But not one of these exercises can be executed to a high standard if we aren't relaxed. And every single one of these exercises has to be preceded with relaxation, with the method's chair relaxation. Going back to the story that I shared with you earlier about my early days as an actress doing the stage work and having to do the rehearsals in front of everyone else, I was stressed out. Now, if we're stressing, we're not going to get to that point of being able to express the emotion. Stressing can also be not just what I've shared in my experience of wondering what other people were thinking about me, wondering about my own abilities, but stressing can also be having a definite idea about how the scene should be with the tears. And if we've got a definite idea that we're very attached to and we can't think beyond that, we've fallen foul to mental tension in that way as well, and the tears simply won't come. And you will always know that they're fake, and you will always be unsatisfied with the performance, and you will always dig at yourself and give yourself a hard time. So you can use the 3 techniques, substitution, personalisation and effective memory, although I highly recommend you get training in them and you don't try to do them by yourself because you won't know when you're not executing them correctly. But when you are using them, they've absolutely got to be preceded with relaxation. That's a non-negotiable. That's a non-negotiable with all acting work, but especially with these 3 exercises. And if you're listening to this episode and what I'm saying is resonating with you and you've experienced what I've spoken about and you want to get better at being able to cry on cue or, summon up any emotion on cue, then I highly recommend you check out the Summer 10-Week Method Acting module. We've got applications open for a limited time. This is the best training you can get to work through these kinds of exercises to allow you to bring a level of depth to your performances that you're not currently bringing. So you start getting the doors open to your dreams and goals with acting, and you feel assured and confident in your performances because you know what you're doing, you know how to use the exercises proficiently. So the link to check out that program is bit.ly/10-week method acting. That's all in lowercase and the 10 is in numbers 10. We've got auditions on Sunday the 7th of July for the Summer 10-Week Method Acting module. They're in a 15-minute time slot. We provide the script for you. I highly recommend you go and check it out and get an application in because this is what's going to start getting those doors open for you and for you practicing your craft in an environment where you're getting that all-important feedback and you know every step of the way how you're doing. So I hope this episode has been insightful. I hope it's been inspiring, and I hope it's allowed you to see that you can cry on cue, you can generate any emotion on demand, and you just don't need to stress about it. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.